December 30th, 1916. They pulled a body from the frozen river. The autopsy revealed something impossible. He'd been poisoned with enough cyanide to kill 5 men, shot 4 times, beaten with iron rods, and drowned in ice water. But according to the medical examiner, the cause of death? Drowning. He was still alive when he hit the water. This is the story of Grigori Rasputin, the man who wouldn't die, and the autopsy that proved he was either the luckiest man alive or something far stranger. Rasputin was a Russian mystic who gained massive influence over the Romanov royal family. He claimed to heal their hemophiliac son. The Tsarina believed he was sent by God, but to Russia's nobles, he was a threat, a peasant with too much power. They believed he was destroying the empire from within. So they decided Rasputin had to die. Prince Felix Yusupov led the assassination plot. He invited Rasputin to his palace under the pretense of meeting his beautiful wife. Rasputin, known for his appetites, accepted immediately. December 29, 1916, midnight. Yusupov offered Rasputin cakes and wine. What Rasputin didn't know, they were laced with potassium cyanide, enough to kill a horse. Rasputin ate, and ate, and ate some more. 1 cake. 2 cakes. 3. He drank the wine. The nobles watched in horror as absolutely nothing happened. For 2.5 hours, Rasputin consumed enough poison to kill 5 men. He complained the cakes were too sweet and asked for more wine. Yusupov panicked. He excused himself, went upstairs, grabbed a revolver, came back down, and shot Rasputin directly in the chest at point-blank range. Rasputin collapsed. Blood pooled on the floor. The conspirators checked his pulse. Nothing. He was dead. They celebrated, drank champagne, prepared to dispose of the body. But then, Yusupov bent down to take a closer look, and Rasputin's eyes snapped open. What happened next is so insane that if you're still watching, you're about to witness one of the most disturbing medical mysteries in history. And trust me, it only gets crazier from here. If you want to see how this impossible story ends, hit subscribe now, because the autopsy findings will blow your mind. Rasputin lunged at Yusupov, grabbed him by the throat, and growled, "Felix, Felix, I will tell the Tsarina everything." Then he crawled up the stairs toward the exit. The conspirators chased him into the courtyard. One of them fired twice more. 1 bullet hit his back. Another hit his head. Rasputin finally fell in the snow. But they weren't taking chances. They beat him with iron rods, kicked him, wrapped his body in a heavy curtain, tied him with rope, and threw him into the freezing Neva River through a hole in the ice. 3 days later, they found the body a quarter-mile downstream, frozen solid. And that's when the medical examiner made his report. The autopsy revealed gunshot wounds, blunt force trauma, evidence of poisoning in the stomach contents. But here's what shocked everyone. Water in his lungs. His arms had broken free from the ropes, scratch marks on the underside of the ice, frostbite on his fingertips. Rasputin had been alive under the ice, trying desperately to claw his way out. He survived the poison, survived the first gunshot, woke up from death, survived 2 more bullets, survived the beating, and only drowned after minutes of fighting underwater in freezing darkness. So how is this medically possible? Modern doctors have theories. First, the cyanide. It may have been old and degraded, or the sugar in the cakes neutralized some of its potency. Second, the gunshots. The first bullet hit his chest but missed vital organs. Pure luck. The second and third were fired in panic, possibly grazing shots. Only the final headshot was potentially fatal. Third, hypothermia. When Rasputin hit the freezing water, his body went into extreme shock. This can slow heart rate to almost nothing, making it nearly impossible to detect a pulse. In medical terms, Rasputin experienced something called the mammalian diving reflex. Cold water triggers the body to conserve oxygen. His body literally shut down non-essential functions to survive. But here's the disturbing part. Even with all these explanations, medical experts agree Rasputin should have died at least 3 separate times that night. The odds of surviving all of it? Astronomical. Some historians believe Rasputin had built up a tolerance to poison over years. He'd survived multiple assassination attempts before. Maybe he'd been preparing his body all along. Others point to his physiology. Rasputin was unusually tall and robust for his time, 6 feet 4 inches, built like a bear. That extra body mass may have diluted the poison and absorbed more damage. But the conspirators? They believed something else entirely. They thought Rasputin wasn't human, that he'd made a pact with dark forces, that he was unkillable. Prince Yusupov wrote in his memoir, "I shot him, I saw him die, and yet he rose like a demon from hell. I will never forget his eyes when they opened. They were not the eyes of a man." The body was cremated by Bolshevik soldiers a few months later during the Russian Revolution. His ashes were scattered. No grave, no remains, nothing left to study. To this day, Rasputin's autopsy remains one of the most bizarre medical cases in history. A man who survived everything except drowning. Or did he survive even that? Some say on cold Russian nights, you can still see scratch marks appearing under the ice of the Neva River. But that's just a legend, right? If this story gave you chills, drop a comment with "unkillable." And if you want more impossible medical mysteries, subscribe now, because I've got stories that make Rasputin look normal.